let's roll.
So news came out that you're up for a potential interview with the Panthers. Do you have any comment about that? Can you confirm that?
Yeah, I have no comment. All of my focus is about this week, and we got a great opportunity with a special group of people to go out there and put on a great performance against Tampa Bay, and that's where all of our focus and energy is at the moment.
So if you have an interview though, that wouldn't necessarily mean the focus would be 100%, right? I mean, if the interview happens this weekend, or
Yeah, all my focus, Jeff, is about this playoff game and putting everybody in position, to go out there and put on a great performance on Monday night.
What must have been better against the Blitz?
Can you repeat that? Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Better against the Blitz?
Yeah, I mean, we have to, first and foremost is we have to give everybody the tools and the answers to go out there and execute their job properly against the Blitz. And, credit the Giants. They did a great job of doing some unique things that created some issues for us, but, definitely a moment that we can learn from and continue to grow from.
Brian, you've known Jalen for a long time and know all the obstacles that he's overcome. Do you think that's hardened him? And I mean that in both senses of the word, and that he's gotten stronger, but also, that maybe he's all a little harder, more difficult to get to know because he's gotten harder.
I think Jalen has a very unique story, and he's had some very unique experiences in his football life and in his short football career. But I think, he's a guy that his teammates have a ton of respect for, and he's a guy that's extremely consistent, day in and day out, being the same guy every day, holding himself to the same standard, to the same foundational, goals that he's had since he's been a youngster. And, I think all of us have our own unique experiences and stories who kind of help shape who we become as men. And, Jalen's no different.
Ryan, it seems like opponents have used a lot more cover 6 and cover 4 against you guys this year. How would you describe it? Seems like it disguises that pretty well in some ways. How does that complicate what you do offensively? How does that present a challenge?
Well, I think it varies on the game. You mean just per game or just total? What are you saying? Are you saying just overall?
Overall, in the last couple of games, the percentages are higher than what they did last year too.
Yeah, I think obviously, I think we go back and forth. If you kind of just look at how it's kind of progressed over the course of the 3 years, it's defenses trying to limit big plays. I think if you look at throughout the course of the NFL, you're seeing probably a lot more shell coverage this year than you have in past years. And I think one of the things that it's making teams have to do is try to go on these long drives to go down and score. We talked about this a little bit a couple weeks ago in terms of being able to generate some explosive plays. So a lot of people in the past couple of years, there'll be times where you get a lot of single high press man and the ball's up and you're getting some shots, but that hasn't been the case this year. So we've had to find some different ways to generate some of that stuff.
Over the last 6 games, what are you seeing? I mean, obviously, the offense hasn't been firing on all cylinders, but what are you seeing specifically from Jalen as far as our defense is adjusting to him better? What do you see as the difference from maybe earlier in the year with him?
Well, I think to be completely honest with you, I think that the last couple of weeks Jalen has been playing some really, really clean football in terms of what he's seeing, what he's processing, how he's looking at it. We just got to continue to make the most of every possession and put ourselves in the situations where we're not getting behind the sticks, where we're not putting ourselves in some unfavorable situations. So but for us, we all realize that this is about the here and now, and we got a special opportunity to go do something with this group of guys, and everybody's looking forward to that challenge.
When you look at the Buccaneers defense, when you look at the film from the last few weeks, how are they different from the first time you guys saw them in week 3?
Well, they're definitely healthier. You know, they've got a fantastic veteran group that's been there, seems like forever. And you know, obviously they're very well coached. Coach Bowles does a great job defensively. And they've got some players who are battle tested and who have done it at a high level for a really long time. So you know, everybody's here is looking forward to that matchup.
You mentioned earlier focus on this week, and you know, this time of year, this interviews happen and such. With Nick, how does that relationship work? What does he kind of present to you guys whenever this time of year comes around?
Yeah, well, I think the biggest thing, and Nick's been a great resource in terms of development and just being able to be somebody to get ideas from and to bounce ideas off of. You know, I can't say enough good things about the relationship I have with Nick, especially considering, you know, prior to me getting here, we didn't know each other. And, you know, I can't say enough good things about just the type of person he is, how much he cares, and how much he wants to see everybody do really, really well. So, you know, he's somebody that's you know, in a short 3-year period has become somebody who's really close.
Brian, when teams are taking away the big play, the deep ball, when they're legislating and making you throw it underneath, you said you have to find other ways to do it. What other ways are there without kind of forcing it when it's not there?
Well, yeah, you have to go into some catch and runs and try to find some isolations, you know, on some interior defenders. So, you know, those are things, and try to manipulate some of these play actions and get guys to have some eye violations and see if we can create some explosives that way. And then you got to be able to run the ball. So there's a bunch of different ways to do it, and you know, we got to make sure we get that done.
How's it, like, your time spent with Jalen different than it was last year because you're OC? So, like, do you go in the quarterback meetings with them? Do you have separate meetings with the quarterback?
Yeah, so you know, my role has obviously changed from last year, where you're you know, predominantly my sole focus was only on the quarterback, and you know, and I had some other responsibilities in terms of game planning and stuff. But you know, that role changes now when you're in charge of the entire offense. So yes, you know, obviously I do spend time in the quarterback meetings, but you know, I also like to be able to spend time with some other groups and making sure that, you know, everybody's on the same page and in concert. So you know, that role has definitely changed, you know, for my first 2 years here. But you know, Coach Taney's done a great job of running those meetings and getting the guys ready to go.
So Alex runs the quarterback meeting, and do you, like, just kind of stay there, or I mean, or do you have to interject as well because you're the OC and because?
Yeah, we all interject. Like those, you know, to me, when you get into a really good quarterback room and you have guys that have played as much as Jalen has now and as much as Marcus has and have been around, you know, the best rooms that I've been in, they become more discussion-based and not lecture-based, right? And because guys are all on the same page, they're seeing stuff and they're adding to the conversation. And that's when you know when you have guys that can truly understand the vision, understand what's going on, and they bring great ideas to the party as well. And I think that's a huge blessing for us. And it's not only in the quarterback room. You know, you take a look at our offensive line room and the amount of football that Jason Kelsey has played. Like, those guys have so much knowledge, so much experience. You know, they've definitely been a huge help.
Brian, going back to the concept of the blitz, the Bucs blitz is the third highest rate in the league. What about, you know, Todd Bowles' blitz is particularly challenging, or, you know, what kind of unique ridiculous does he like to present that can give an offense issues?
Well, yeah, I mean, he's done it at a high level for a really long time. You know, I think just the variety of different fronts, different personnel groupings, being able to mix and match, being able to package it in a way where it looks very similar to other things that they can present. You know, so for us, you know, we really have to be on in terms of our identification system.
Your best three offensive playmakers, Jalen, AJ, Devontae, are either dealing with some sort of injury right now or potentially coming back from an injury in Devontae's case. Where is that in your thinking Jalen's finger, AJ's knee, what Devontae was dealing with going into this big playoff game?
Yeah, I mean, we always take into consideration the health of our players, in terms of getting ready to go game plan and go out there and put a great performance. But I think, at the end of the day, this is what it's all about. We play these 17 regular season games for this opportunity, right? And, I think everybody understands this is the only opportunity that matters right now. And it's about us going out there and executing and having a great plan, having a great sense of urgency, having great detail. Because when you're in a single elimination tournament, this is it. This is the end of the road. You have to go out there and put your best foot forward, or it's over. And I think everybody realizes that urgency to go out there and get that done.
It preaches so much about getting off to a quick start. In the past few weeks, as you struggled to get off to that quick start, what has to change about the process to kind of establish yourselves quickly early in the game?
Well, I think it's just, consistent first downs, right? First downs, explosive plays, those are the things that get you going. And just being able to manage those situations. You look at, 2 weeks ago we had a 3rd and 2 to start the game and we didn't convert. And then we get a first down on the last week, and then we don't convert after the first down. So we have to start fast. We got to make sure that we get the guys into a great rhythm early on and put them in a position to go out there and execute.
Brian, has the offensive line played at the same level these last 6
I'm
games?
sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Has the offensive line, in your opinion, played at the same level it was earlier in the year during this 6-game funk?
Yeah, we have a great offensive line. Those guys do a great job each and every time we go out on the field. And we put so much on those guys in terms of we know that they make us go. And it's a great group led by some great players and a great coach, and Coach Stout. And, those guys have always shown up on game day ready to roll.
Thank you. Thanks, Brian.